What's cracking, YouTube? This is your guy D Chill, about to give you a story. Let me get my shout outs out the way. Kev Mac Videos, First Take, 89 on Up Homie, Inglewood Legend Family, C Bill, Joe T, Big Joe, Doing Time with Joe, 16 to Life, Cartoon 1, Real Kens TV, Stay Out the Way Trey, Big Blue Rag, Big Homie Blocks, and his wife is Xavier. I believe I'm saying her name right. And I think there's a couple more. Oh yeah, Charlie Global, and of course Jay Williams. Let's live life, and we're back. Yeah, we're glad our guy's back. Definitely be happy when CBO get back. Yeah, so there's more. Just those ones that I've been able to get in my dome and remember, so that I can just flow with it. So what I'm gonna do is tell you guys a story about at least in my city, when they started doing in every courthouse, every King County juvenile halls, all those places, the metal detectors. They didn't used to have them all over the place in Washington, at least in my area. I'll say Seattle. So I'm gonna tell you firsthand what happened. I was there, but I wasn't there, but I was there. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So back in the day, because I'm gonna go back in time and hit you guys to where it all, when I met this individual. So when you're doing time in the county, you're gonna either be on the King County second floor, trustee floor, I think it's fourth floor, seventh floor, that's the medic hospital ward, if you will. Eighth floor, that's another kind of like regular floor, and then ninth floor is pretty much like classification floor, where you come in to let you know where you're going. And then you have the 10th floor, and that's more or less where the goons is. 10 South is kind of rough and tough, but 10 North is where it cracked off at. 10 East, it went down over there as well, but 10 North is mainly where all the majority of the gangbangers went. That was classified, known gangbangers, and they went on 10 North when it was cracking. Never been. I would say I was a known gangbanger out in the streets to the police, but wasn't in the county for whatever reason, and I'm glad, because I never went over there. 10 North, it went down. It was cracking. You hear Cold Blue, 10 North, Cold Blue, 10 East, Cold Blue, 10 North. You hear Cold Blue, 10 South, occasionally. Now I say more than occasionally. I'm gonna quit that. And 8 South, 8 East, 8 North, but Cold Blue was cracking off on that 10th floor. Rarely ever will you hear Cold Blue on 11th floor, and I was an exception when it happened, and I was part of the action when it happened. I'm about to tell you all that story. I thought I did, but I tell you, this stroke stuff ain't no joke, man. So this particular situation happened. I'm not sure if I was. No, I had to be. Yeah, I was on the 11th floor when this particular situation took place. So, like I said, those are the other floors, and so then you have your standard get up. You're either gonna be in blues for misdemeanor, which I most of the time was in, because I was swift out there. I wasn't getting caught up for no lacka goods, none of that. I was real smooth. Look here, man, I used to be downtown. I'm tripping. I gotta write this down, because I think maybe I have put this down, just haven't talked about it. Man, look, I would be so cold. Commercial break me. I was so cold when I was out there, and even some of the smokers would tell you, and back then we called them clucks. And this is why I say I was slick with it, and I rarely got caught up when getting caught with any good soup or any cocaine crack. I was real slick, and I just was one of those, like, I dreaded having to go to the pen. Not fearful, just having that mark on you. Way back then I thought about this. I did not want that on my rap sheet. And I'm so glad that I never got it on my rap sheet. So I avoided when folks is greedy, running and kept trying to run and rush and get sales. I avoided them. I'll never forget one of my good partners. He got a 40 sale, rushed to get it. It was supposed to be for me. I'm glad I ignored it. Or not ignored it, but he wouldn't got it before me. Police, biker, woo, woo, woo. He got booked. He sold to the police. On cue, there to one time go by his house. That's a trip. Another time downtown, another one of my partners from 15th and 1st. A dude came by to get a sale. The dude comes to get the sale. A dude come to buy something, and cats is running up trying to get him. Now the dude knew me and remembered me. I gave him some good Asian cats, small, kind of frail. I'll never forget. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, man, I just got to, because this maybe 5 days ago, I just gave him a jug on GP because he spent like a lot, and I knew he would come back. And for whatever reason, he just looked at me and just kind of did like that and just kept on going. Went to my homeboy. My homeboy gets the 50 sale. Shoom, 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 shoom. Cars came from out of nowhere. Booked him. He was, I forget what they call it when you get money from the police, and then you didn't sell directly to the police, but still. But nevertheless, he booked my partner, and he wouldn't have let me get the sale because he remembered me being cool and giving him the goods. And I was never one of those just running up, beating up on clucks. That just wasn't my style. I thought that was punkish. Plenty of my homeboys did it. They can be mad if they want to. I thought that was real punkish. I wouldn't let that get down. And old boy remembered how I looked out for him, and he wouldn't come and let me sell to him, and let one of my other homeboys get it. And I kid you not, he went to the joint for that, selling to the police, or however, I forget how they classify it. Those are the reason why I stayed out of the radar, because one, I was a good dude, and I was very, very slick in my movements. So I never forget, I was downtown, and this was like 3 or 4 in the morning. I used to always get up at this time because I wouldn't go to sleep until 5 or 7. Actually, I don't know why I said 5, because sometimes I wouldn't get down there till 4 or 5, so I wouldn't get back to sleep till 7 or 8. I'm out there when all the smokers are out. And look here, man, when the police are going by, I'm sitting there doing all the moves. See, I wish I could stand up and do it all. When I get to my apartment, I'm going to really show y'all, because I'm going to have my guy with the video camera do it so you can really see your guy in action. Even though it's kind of tough for me because I still got some ailments from the stroke. My right side is not all the way back, so I'm still walking with a limp, and now I got to have a surgery on my right side, on my right hip, so I'm a little messed up. But man, look here, I'm talking, I be doing all the movements. When the police come past, I'm dressed bummy as can be, and I'm doing all the, I'm doing everything, all the moves, like I'm out here smoking like the rest of the folks, and I'm looking just like all of them, and I'm dressed like it. And I never forget, the police go past, so I resume back to normal activity. And I never forget, this smoker dude came up to me and said, man, you are one of the coldest, realest cats out here selling dope that I've seen in my life. You blend in with us so well, and little do they know, you got a bad blankety blank bone around the corner, because that's when I had just caught my white bone, and I had so many offers for it because it was the only bone like in the town. All white, blue vinyl top, double plus blue guts, my favorite color, blood, Paru, don't matter. Blue's still my favorite color. I'm my man before anything. Blue still is my favorite color. Didn't care about what nobody else was talking about. I'm going to wear blue no matter what. Is my favorite color. Quiet as kept. I almost got killed by the 60s in all blue downtown when a homie from D-Dub was pressing an old boy from 6-0. And my cousin who's from neighborhood 6-0 told me that old boy that was busting on me is now from 5 Deuce Hoover. Man, how life changes. But anyway, so back to the story. That was just me. I really just stayed away from getting caught up because I wasn't a greedy cat, and I really did moves like that to stay out of the limelight because it wasn't that serious to me. So I get booked at this particular time for driving. I was a habitual traffic offender, so I'm doing 8 months for that. No, I wasn't doing that much time this time for that. No, yes I was. I was short. I had about 60 days or less left, and then I got booked, sent to the hole, and I had 39 days left, and they maxed me out, telling me you're gonna spend the rest of that time in the hole. I guess I've been giving them problems in there, and they were just tired of dealing with me, so they parked me in the hole for the rest of my time. So I'm in there, and you have different dorms, even on the 11th floor. And people are in different sections. So, like I was saying, so you're in your blue or you're in your red for your felonies. And what's the name? And then you have another color. It's all white, and it's ultra security. So people that either unalive the police or they've unalived masked people or horrible fire. And I'm telling you that because this is the people that I remember that was in there for this, literally at this time. Or you've done a horrendous crime for whatever it was. You was in ultra security, and forgive me, y'all. You can see I got a slit right here on my neck, and that's from when I had to have surgery on my neck and my back when they had to take out some disc in my back. They took my throat. Commercial break me. They took my throat, and here I go with my knuckles ashy again. I can't stand that one. They took my throat, moved it aside, went in the back, and took out the disc. The doctor told me he could have went in from the back. He's like, that might have been a little too much, so I wanted to go this way, which is easier. Man, I'm eating Jell-O for a week because I could barely swallow, couldn't really talk. It was a trip. I'm walking around one of those neck braces after both of these joints. I'm walking around with one of those neck braces, looking like I'd been in a horrific car accident. But anyway, so when you see me doing that, I'm really just trying to move it around because it still be painful, hard to deal with. Hey, it is. I guess it comes to the territory. But so what I mentioned to you is literally what I remember seeing while I was in there. Now, right across from my room, there was a cat that was in there for unaliving the police. My opinion, self-defense. I'm not from the South End. Heard rumors about this dude. He was pulling moves, and he was, I'm not going to get into all that because that might upset the family, but in my opinion, because I still got to give love for old boy that did it, because I kind of knew him from the streets, and he wasn't getting down like that. That he's just gonna gun down the police for the hell of it. Something had to happen on that particular day. But anyway, so he was across from me. Then right up adjacent to us upstairs, there was the dude. I'm not gonna say his last name. Asian dude. Probably about 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", about 160, kind of thin. That's kind of heavy for that amount to think about it. But anyway, he's kind of thin, maybe 120, 140. And then there was the dude that was in my tank. And but the dude that was the Asian dude, he had, I believe, unalive. I could be wrong with the number. 3 to 5 firefighters. It might not be that I'm not exactly sure, but there was a warehouse that caught on fire that he was allegedly supposed to have done or had someone do, and then the firefighters went to one of those, spots that was unsecured, and I guess they didn't do everything they needed to before they went in, and they fell through, and boom, they got caught up and burned up in that fire. And man, he shot to China. China was not trying to release that cat for nothing. They're like, if you were talking about taking this citizen's life, one of their citizens, we're not releasing them. And I believe America didn't have a treaty with them for that extradition thing. But for whatever reason, they, of course, talked with them, made sure they let them know, we're not going to do your guy in, but we need him. He's done this, that, and the third. And they got him. I believe this is during Clinton's term. And then you have the guy in my tank. White dude, about 5'9", because he was either my height or a little taller, and because we could see eye to eye, and you'll see why when I'm about to tell you. And he was not heavy, about my size, a little chunky, if not smaller than I am right now. And he's in there because, let me give you a little bit of the backstory from what I heard. Not out of his mouth. This is just what I heard. His wife was one of those bridal, however they say that. Married a woman, flew up here from, I believe, the Philippines. And they're living together. And then, out of nowhere, she says she wants a divorce. I'm saying out of nowhere because I don't know what her reason was. So she tells him that, so they're going to court for the divorce. This is what I believe. I'm not 100% sure because I don't remember people going to the King County courthouse for divorces back then, but maybe they did. I just didn't know. I was only 20. So they're going to court. The woman that who's helping her get the divorce, she's in court, and the woman's like 7 or 8 months pregnant. Well, like I said, what I was told was that he found out that the woman, or maybe she told him, that she was also pregnant by somebody else. Man, look here. When I tell you he went there and acted a straight nut, yeah, he defined the word of blacking out. Quite as far as I'm concerned, he should be out, even though it's unfortunate because of the fact, my bad, because I don't like when people tell the story before they tell the story. Let me tell you the story. So what happened is, he comes to court. Mind you, I told you, we didn't have metal detectors at the time. Comes to court, in the courtroom. You can pull this up, Google it. You'll see, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive, because I remember a glimpse of this later because it's on TV. The judge is ducking and breaking. Boom, 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 boom. That boy came in there busting. Smoked her. The girl that was with, trying to assist her, and unfortunately the baby that was in her stomach. The dude lost it. That's why I was about to say that I think he should be out, even though I don't know if they did, but of course they were trying to take his life. But you know what's they called? Emotional stress or emotional, I forget the exact wording for it when you do something like that. But let me tell you, man, he should have got some type of remedy because he did so wrong. And I don't know what his criminal background was, if he even had one or what have you. But for someone to do that to you and you're thinking you're married and this is your wife and pregnant with your child, man, I got a story I'm gonna tell because I didn't want to tell the story. I've been like, okay, for one, because it's for my child, and then I've been, sparing old girl, like I don't need to do her in, but people need to hear it because it's not about me brandishing the bad. It's just the fact that things like this can happen when you deal with the wrong person, because some people don't get that restraint that they can stop themselves or have someone not their higher power, I don't believe in that, to know the Lord, because you can talk about a higher power. If you're not connected with Him, you can talk with all the higher power you want. The only people you're talking to is the devil. That's the only If you're not talking to Him, you're talking to the devil. Bottom line. There ain't no 1,000 different gods. There ain't no 5 different gods. There ain't no 6 or 10 different religions. There's only one way to Him. Period. Point blank. Say what you want to. Get in the comment. Do what you want to do. That's on you. But I'm going to tell you facts. There ain't no whole bunch of different gods. You can call them gods if you want to, but trust me, you're only talking to partner downstairs. So, man, this dude gets booked for this horrendous act. They put him in the county. Of course, like I said, he's in ultra security, all white. Ultra security means wherever you go, 2 officers, and I believe 1 in back of you. Wherever you go, and you're shackled and handcuffed, wherever you go. As soon as you come up out of your room, because the 11th floor, that's where you're going. You're not hanging out in 10 South, 10 North. You're not 10 East. None of that. You are 11 bound, partner. 23 and 1. 23 hours in, 1 hour out. That's it. And that's what partner was doing until he went to the pen. And whenever he came up out of his cell, well, actually, if he had to go somewhere, as soon as he came out of his cell, they was there to greet him. But if he's coming out for his hour, then there's no problem, because everybody else is in their room, so he can come out and mingle and have his hour walking around and doing what he do, go to the shower, what have you. So one particular day, he's out there on his hour. I'm in my room and I'm chilling. I forget where his room was. I think I was in room like number 6. And he's out there walking, and then he just comes to my door and starts talking to me. And as I gotten older, I understand now why, because there's something in me that people feel comfortable talking to me. I got a story I got to tell you guys. I wrote this one down, commercial break me, about a dude that was in Vietnam and woke up one day and just called me and like, oh, I killed 3 people. I'm 19 at the time. This was a year before I got locked up. I kid you not, because I broke up with my girl and I was 18 when we got together, 19 we got split. I'm sitting there, my eyes got big, but I'm on the phone with him, and I'm, just talking normal, like, oh, what, for real? Like, what happened? And then he releases like, yeah, I was in my dream. I'm relieved because this dude drives me around. He takes me places to make my jug. He done drove me all the way to Portland to go see my girl. I'm hitting the joints at the room and go on back because she's spending time with her people. That's how sprung I was off this girl. Goodness gracious. But, yeah, I got to definitely tell y'all that story. It was a nightmare to have to deal with someone that had mental problems like this when you're that young and you don't know if they can go berserker at any time, because he had a pistol underneath his seat at all times, because he'd been in the army, he got licensed and all that, but it's a trip. So anyway, this dude comes to my cell and starts talking to me just as nonchalant, like we are both in there for driving. I kid you not. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not doing all this with him in front of me, but in my brain it's going. I'm like, what the hell? Why is he coming to talk to me? So he's just like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, I'm alright. How are you? And why am I asking? It's like, man, you in there for doing all that? Because I'm not with you doing anything to no females, even though I had my fair share of bad things I've done. I ain't gonna get into all that. But beating on them, shooting them, I have slapped some people. Punching on a woman, shooting a woman, I think that's piss poor and real suckerish. even putting your hands on them, period. And I'm honestly not trying to make no excuses. What I've done was punkish. Let me put it out there, period. Any form of touching a woman, I've learned, especially going to DV, commercial break me, definitely going to DV classes, I've learned you need to learn to walk away, because you are stronger than a woman. You have the ability to stop. Sometimes you might be dealing with a heavyweight and you may not be able to, especially a smaller guy, but you can somehow stop, restrain them enough to get out the door and get up out of there, and then just don't come back. And that's the motto I live by. If you become anywhere, I ain't gonna do too much on that. Walk away. That's what I learned. Because at the end of the day, a woman don't force you to do nothing. That's what they really got me at. I used to be like, well, because of what they did, because they put their hands on me first. And even my grandma said, don't put your hand on my grandchildren because they gonna hit you bad. Still, you have the ability to walk away. There's no excuse. Bottom line. I'm not going to sit up and say if a person beating you down that you just take it. No, you got to defend yourself to some degree. But I'm saying just go to the point where they didn't put their hands on you about to fight them. Nah, you do what you can to restrain them, to stop them. Then get the hell away from them and don't come back to them. Because you know that's what they're about. Because unfortunately some have been through that and their brains kind of psyched up. They think that's love. It's sad because one of my exes told me this. Tell me what I know. One of my exes told me that after our ordeal, and I didn't tell her this, but I wish I would have. She had told me one of her exes, she remembered how he used to fight on, because what was a player? He had her in one part and I had the other one upstairs in another part. And he told her, he didn't tell her, he used to beat on the other one, but he never put his hands on her. And she was like, yeah, he must have really loved her because, he would beat on her and he'd never touch me. And I'm sitting there now when I got older, wiser, I'm like, dang, I ain't got this woman to thinking that that's love because a person puts their hands on you. That's backwards. Nah, what I did when he did was no form of love. Well, it was love for you because he didn't put his hands on you. That's only love part of it. Putting the hands on the other one makes them love him more. Nah, there's something sick about that. But anyway, so back to him. So he's sitting there talking to me and he's calm and he's cool, just having a normal conversation. Asking me, what do I got planned on doing when I get out? And I'm telling him, I got family out there and I got a woman out there and this is what I got going on. And I believe that I had been dating my child's mother at this time, one of them, if you will, and she was either pregnant or we were just dating, and he was just telling me, well, yeah, when you get out, you take care of your family, go get you a job, you do good. I don't remember everything he said, but those words I do remember, and I'll never forget. The man told me to go get a job, take care of my family, and do good. I promise you, when I got out, I wouldn't apply for Taco Bell in Everett. And Linwood, old girl would know because I was with her at the time. Because I tripped off of hearing this unaliver tell me to go get a job at that age, and I know he's cooked for the rest of his life. I'm like, man, the hell with this dope son. I'm about to go get me a job, man. And partner told me to go, it's almost like your pop's telling you, like you have to listen when a person I can't say threw his life away, but it's virtually gone. If that doesn't register and you don't try or attempt, not try, I don't believe that word. Courtesy, my ex-wife taught me that. If you don't attempt to do something different after listening to someone that you didn't watch on television, not just because he's in ultra security, you seen partner on TV before he came into your cell or into your cell block, you better listen or you're half-past retard. You're half-past slow. I'll put it that way. Yeah, something's not moving upstairs at all. So, my bad, I need to step away from this mic because I be commercial break me. I be listening to someone else, and boy, she be loud. I mean loud. And it's a great word, but I'm like, goodness gracious, sister, do you realize you don't have to be that loud? And I finally sent her a message trying to be as nice and calm as I could, because it's tough when you're listening to it on your earpiece, or if you're just listening to it like this, or it's open and other people can hear it on the your computer, or you just got it on your phone. You can't always have your whatever music or someone ministering loud, because you could be offensive to someone else, regardless of what you think, that you believe that he's the only source. Other people don't believe in that. Period. You have atheists out there and agnostics. I met one. Didn't know what the word meant till I met this guy. Great dude. Turned out to be a great man. But not saying he wasn't a great man then, just saying turned out to be really good. But it's just a trip. You just have to respect everybody around you. So let me try to ease up on this mic. So it's just a trip that the man took the time to come to my cell out of everyone. Because when you're in a hole, you can hear everything. There's not too much going on. Unless you got some maniacs banging on their walls and doing all the extra, or doing a bunch of singing for nothing. Man, this guy came to my cell and talked to me out of because it was me. DJ Please is not too far down the way from me, and there was other people on that block, but I don't remember everyone. But I definitely remember Please. That's an old school legend. And I don't remember hearing him talk, because I got some, I be listening. I don't remember him talking to no one else, and for him to talk to me, I would be a fool not to adhere to some of the things that he said. And the most important, prudent things is go get you a job, do something different, work on getting your life together, because that was his whole spiel. This is a black man. This is a white guy outside of a black man's cell that's in there for doing this, and you are telling this black man, this African, Sweden, Dutch, because I don't believe in that African American, because check your DNA, you'll find out what I'm talking about. And that commercial break me. That's who to come to that story, because there ain't no African American. Just say we're African and we're in America. Don't try to lie and say we're African American like part of our blood is 50-50, because mine is not. I only have 1% American blood. So how am I African American? Make it make sense. So I was just tripping on the fact that this man had took the time to really splash me with knowledge and game, if you will. Not game. I gotta get out of that corny stuff. He really educated me and taught me about the realness of being a man, and that's what a man does. He takes care of his family, and he lives and does all he can to continue being a good man and take care of his family, even though he had did all of this. Man, stories like this, I truly wish I had more followers. I know it's on me because I technically started doing this, at least 2 to 3 years ago. I mean, speaking and then not dropping all of them. Had a whole bunch of stories that I didn't even release. So that's on me. Had all kind of excuse. No, I don't want to do it in my truck. They're going to think that I'm broke and I'm doing. You were broke. What do you think they're going to think you're broke? You were broke. Dude, you're living in a shelter. Remember? That's the problem. And I learned that from Joe T. We are so good. And this is a younger gentleman. Check him out. We are so busy trying to hide things and sugarcoat things instead of just being open and honest. And how my guy said, being vulnerable. Just, it's okay. We need to just be free, because if you try to hide it, somebody gonna bring it up. Let it out. So it can't be nothing brung up about you. Like Eminem did. How he barbecued and baked them folks in that movie, because everything they thought they were going to use against him, he used it against himself. And I almost said some things YouTube don't like, because I don't curse, but still. He baked, barbecued, and put them on the grill and on a menu. he really lit him up talking about himself. Because it's okay when you talk about you, they can't talk about you. You do it. So, the point of the matter is, man, that man really helped me at that time, and I promise you, I went out and looked for a job. They didn't call me back, even though I had a bunch of experience, and they should have, because I was no joke at Taco Bell in California. I was so good and so fast at what I was doing, I raced the owner of the store on the line. What I mean by that is, I'm making food on this side, he's making food on, I believe it was either a burrito supreme or a regular bean burrito. But we raced from start to finish. That's just how fast I was, and people told him, like, Dorian's quick, and I was only 16. I raced that man from one end to the other to see if I can get everything that you need, because not only are we racing in the quantity according to Royce. Still remember the Royce book. People that know, I don't know if they still have it, but trust me, Taco Bell, we went by the Royce book. Quarter ounce of lettuce, quarter ounce of cheese, half ounce of lettuce, and then an ounce and a half of beans, and an ounce and a half of beef to go on a burrito supreme. Yeah, you had to know this stuff. And think of this. Old stuff, my memory is pretty sharp still, things that are years ago. But things right now, my brain is foggy. But that was 36 years ago. Yeah. And I still remember that stuff. And I bet you if you go pull it up right now, that's how much it weighs. I mean, that's what the weight is for a burrito supreme. And my point is, I was pretty sharp and they should have hired me. That's basically all I'm saying while I'm running my mouth. But, yeah, so the other thing I want to get out of this story is women, men. This story is about a woman, and the woman is the only person that can hold a child. You got to be truthful. And that's the reason why I have to tell my next story. Because there's more to the story that a lot of people don't know. People think that I just went out and accepted what the old girl did, not knowing that I was sitting in, not knowing that she almost lost hers. Yeah, she did. And that's why people, you gotta quit. You can't take people for granted and think that, oh, he's nice. I'm talking about old boy, because she knew my ex. She knew I wasn't nice, and knew that I had that thing. And that's really what's scary. Like, you would take a chance with trying to be slick and go do something behind my back. And what I've learned from people. Man, a dude from Detroit told me, I kid you not, his woman played with him with his child. He put gasoline around the entire house, left one entrance open, lit the flame so it go all the way around where he put the gasoline, where they run out because they didn't know who it was. They just seen the fire, but he was the one that did it. He said, as soon as they came running out, I lit them back on in the house. About playing my child. Said the woman was at the window holding this child, smiling. You can't see him. Oh, okay, I got something for you. I'll be back. And knowing my brain, my pops, how sick we are by nature, she was really past slow to even attempt to do that with me, because you could have really got it in a major way. It ain't nothing but the Most High and your children, which why you're here. And I'm not that near. Because I'll tell you this, because I promise you, they give you an electric chair in South Carolina. And that's one of the most, beside the children, I know there's a Most High. By the time my heart was really, and my brain was like, she got to get it. All this time I done spent, all this time I done did, and you gonna do something like this, you got to get it. And I thought about them children and that electric chair. Is why I didn't hit. I'm going to tell you the fullness of the story. Stay tuned. But unfortunately, he didn't have that to stop him. He didn't have the tools that I have to stop him, or the heart or the compassion of mind to think about, what about others? What about them children? They're gonna grow up with their mom being gone. My baby gonna grow up like the only person she knew as daddy, and to this day, all she called is daddy. Text me earlier today. We talking about. Some people don't have the compassion or the heart that would think about others. They just think about what you did and how much you hurt them, and they just go berserk like that guy did. You gotta think about that, y'all. You females better stop playing with people about what's theirs and what's not theirs, and just be honest from the get-go, because that could be it for you, or it could be worse. It could be not just you and some of your family and friends too. I'm out. Like, comment, and do all that good stuff. This is D Chill at D Chill the Discussion.